Hey, Shalom, first and foremost, all praises, glory, honor goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makakodas, double honors to the elder apostles. A great millstone that taught us this truth. Salutation, all Yakim, pushing this word day in and day out, doing this quick lesson. This is from this, what appears to be an Edomite lady. She could be a Jake. She got that dark look to her, like a, square jaws. Could be like an Italian or Irish or something. But we'll see, right? When we get the power, we're gonna know who's who, who's a Jake and who's a fake. So Susie Wolf says that Gen Z and millennials, which I'm a millennial. If you're a millennial, you're born between what, 81 to 96. Gen Z, you're born from what, 97 to like the early 2010s, about 2012 or so, 2013. Are burnt out because older generations work just as hard, but they had hope. When we're working harder than them older niggas. We working harder than them older niggas. Them older niggas, they used to be able to work minuscule jobs, working at Red Lobster, entry level jobs. That's a better way to put it. Entry level jobs, Red Lobster. Used to be able to work at Kohl's, retail jobs, things of that nature, and be able to buy a house and afford it in whatever city they lived in, man. There was a time, like, let's say in the 90s, early 2000s, you could make $15 an hour and your wife would make $15 an hour and you could buy a house easily. Try that shit today, man. Try that shit. You can't even buy a house with $30 an hour today, So this devil, man, he got a lot to pay for, man. And that's one of it, man. This inflation shit, man. That's going on. Which ain't nothing. I mean, if you own a house, you own it. Good for you. But if you don't, ain't no biggie. But I'm just saying, man, because, if you have children in this society, you would want to pass something down to them, At least they could, sell the shit and get some money out of it. But, that's a thing of the past, man. So this lady, she's 66 years old. She said she had a conversation with a 25-year-old freelance worker who asked for us to create more content about worker fatigue. Worker fatigue among young people because her friends were just so burnt out. Yeah, because I remember a brother did a video. He was dealing with this one woman. And he's like, man, he popped her a few times and then, I guess he tried to re-link up with her again. And because she said she was working, she told her brother she was working like 7 days straight, 14 days straight, whatever, right? And the brother said, yeah, he tried to call her, link up with her again. And then her mom or dad picked up the phone. And, they told the brother that, yeah, she ended up dying from, over exerting herself at work, man. And this is a common thing. People are working themselves to the grave right now because everything's so expensive, man. You really got to pick and choose your battles on how you want to spend your money. You want to spend your last $60 on gas or groceries, or your phone bill, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature, man. Really ain't no time. Speaking as a brother in the faith, yeah, you can do things that's free, but ain't no time to be whining and dining these hoes, man. You really ain't got to do all that, man. If the bar fuck with you, she ain't going to care about that. Just keep it a buck in this day and time, man, because everything's too, you going to spend it. You go out to eat, your meal going to cost $25, her meal going to cost $25. You spending $50 for a bullshit ass meal, man, All right. Just meet them, try to set shit up so you can pop them and then dip, man. Try to do it again until she get tired, man, because shit is fucked up out here. Unless she wants to treat you, so pressed to go out, okay, you treat, you know what I'm saying? You asking me out, you treat. you know. According to a 2024 poll, just 31% of staffers or workers under 35 says they're thriving. 22% say they feeling lonely. Shit is just out of wax, man. The scripture goes into it, man. Ease of air. You know, how about get that, man? Says nearly 45% of the young adults between 18 and 25 think their mental health is harmed by overall sense that things are falling apart. The sown places are becoming unsown, man. The baby boomers, man, you know, the difference between y'all and us is that, you were the last generation to really, as a whole, to live in a cheap America, man. You fucking baby boomers. That's why, you got baby boomers out there, they still paying a $500 mortgage from 1992, man. And here it is 2025. You got baby boomers paying a $800 mortgage from 1998, man. That's why you see more people living, or more young people, millennials, Gen Z, living, with their parents. Like, it's a common thing in today's age for a 40-something-year-old, early to mid 40s, man, living at home, or woman too, living at home with mom. I met I met this young woman. I mean, she wasn't young. She was about like 45. I mean, I guess you could say young for this article's sake, right? But she's still living with her parents, man, so a young Northern tribe woman, man, all right. So, this is the collapse waiting to happen, man, in a nutshell. Any day now, man. I mean, I gotta dislike this comment, man, if they let me to. He says, I grew up in the 70s, 80s. Plenty of turmoil and high employment. Yeah, but what about the cost of living, bitch? What about the gender war? You see, this is why... This is why, like millennials and Gen Z as a whole, they don't respect the boomers, because the boomers, they're not living in our reality, man. They can't... It's hard for them to relate. Yeah, okay, food is expensive, but your main bill is your housing. It's lucky I'm renting, because this shit's pissing me off, because it's affecting me. It's affecting most brothers in the faith, man, if not all the brothers. I just went down to North Carolina, I'll say about a month ago, a little over a month, maybe about 5-6 weeks ago. I was down there for, in the Carolinas for maybe almost a week or something, 4 or 5 days, whatever. And, Spirit had me just like ChatGPT. Okay, yeah, what's the average rent price in this city? You think it's Carolina, South. I remember it was a time where people up here was like, yeah, I'm going to move to Carolina, man. Maybe they got the Bank of America's down there. That's the headquarters. It's cheap. You get a good job and live for cheap. I remember people up here was saying that 10 years ago, man. All right. And when I pulled up the GPT, of course, it's a faster search than going on Google. So I said, yeah, what's the average one-bedroom rent price here in the Carolinas, the city that I'm in? Of course, you could probably find something in the boot, back of the woods town, trailer type of towns for cheap. But I'm in a city, one of the major cities of Carolina. It's not Charlotte. It wasn't the other cities. But I looked at the average rent price, and it was like the damn, almost the exact same as here in DMV, man. Shit was almost the exact same, man. So, hey, man. Hey, this guy Says no more mundane factory jobs at one company for 30 plus years like grandpa did with an AI eliminating much more. Yeah, I remember my dad, man. He worked at a job for like 20 plus years, man. Them days are over, man. You staying at the same job for like 10, 20 plus years, them days are over. I remember he did, and then he got laid off and shit, man. Like, one say he got laid off like '04, '05, and that was his last, real job before he ended up retiring, man. And he worked in a Marriott warehouse, man. And Marriott is a Fortune 500 company, man. I mean, everybody done stayed in a Marriott hotel at least one time in their life or been to one. You know what I'm saying? So this shit is just, people just living in false realities, man. They don't see this place crumbling right before their eyes. They have hope. Like, that's one thing. That's why Gen Z is going to be the main gen. And then certain Gen X too, maybe younger Gen X, those that's born in the 90s and shit. They going to be the main ones riding when this shit collapses, man. It'll be fucking younger Gen Y, Salaki. Younger millennials, I think that's a better word to say. Younger millennials born in the 90s. And, of course, Gen Z, of course, and certain Gen Alphas, maybe older Gen Alphas that are like teenagers, early teens, early adolescents. They're going to be the one to fucking ride the most when shit hits the fan, man. Because the more I'm eating this, the more I'm pissed. And I'm an older guy, per se, quote unquote. I'm in my early 40s, so I'm an older guy. And I'm feeling it, man. I felt like I never had a chance in this society. Why? Because the economy collapsed. It wasn't '08. It was like more like '05. I graduated college in '05. Young 21, 22, 23 whippersnapper. And I feel like I never had a chance in this society to, be ahead of the curve, man. All right. So, these people, man, especially you old baby boomers, you're going to get what's coming for you. You older Gen X that's been living comfortably, never had to pay $1,000 a month for a fucking 3,000 square foot house. You never had to do that shit. You have a 3,000 square foot. Hey, the Lord's going to visit y'all, man. If the Lord ain't, especially you too, because most of you baby boomers are going to get destroyed, man. You old bottles and shit, man. 95% of y'all going to get destroyed, man. Same thing for people in my generation and the younger generation. But you old motherfuckers that's living comfortably. Your fucking car note is more than your house payment, man. The Lord's gonna get you, man. So let me get some. Salaki, this rant was a little personal, man. Okay. This rant was personal, man. Cause the shit we going through, man, as a younger generation, these old motherfuckers ain't going through it, man. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I'm keeping it a buck, man. Yeah, motherfuckers, even if they renting, they paying the same rent they did in goddamn 2008, 2006, man. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth. Yeah, you're supposed to come in the truth when you're young. Most brothers, came into this, especially brothers that's been doing it for a while. We came into this thing when we were in our prime ages, like 20. Me, I was like mid to late 20s. When I first heard I was a Hebrew Israelite, I was like 27, man. 27, man. So I was still in my prime then. I was, in my latter days of the prime. But most brothers coming younger than that. Most brothers be used to like, I was 21, 22. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I was a late bloomer. But that's been the story of my whole life. I've been a late bloomer with everything. But what they say, better late than never. while the evil days come not. Yeah, so you're supposed to really, seeking the Lord while he may be found, man. While society is up and still intact per se, still running and shit. Because it's gonna be many people calling on the Lord when the judgment finally hits. It's gonna be too late, man. Like that song say, "Oh, it's too late to apologize. It's too late." That's what the Lord's gonna say, man. Depart from me, I never knew thee, man. You know, depart from me, I never knew thee. You know what I'm saying? To a lot, of course, you're gonna have the multitudes waking up at the end, but hey, the Lord said He's gonna have mercy on who He has mercy. But if you know right now you're Israelite and you putting this truth on the back street, on the back burner, hey, the Lord's gonna get you, man. 9 times out of 10, man, the Lord's gonna remember that. Oh yeah, when you knew you was an Israelite, but you was in the club every weekend, or you was in the bar every weekend, or you was, chasing hoes, every night had a different hoe at your crib, out there being a super trick, man. Super trick daddy, super sugar daddy to these hoes every night and shit, man. Because that's what most J do, they go to work, get off, watch the ball game, get drunk. That's the life of a nigga. Then find out the next hoe they gonna jump on, man. While the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, man. All right. Yeah, when you're old, man. You get up out the bed, you moaning, every time you get out the car, you making noises and shit. You know what I'm saying? While you want 10 different prescription medicines just so you can breathe, so you ain't in the spirit realm and shit. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened. So you're supposed to enter in this truth, when you're able to find the apostles, find the Akim on the highways and edges and so forth, man. Ask questions, man, because hey, I'll be honest, man. Even though it's gonna be brothers that wake up at the end, but I'd rather know what's going on early than late, man. Yeah, I don't want to know. Hey, that's your lot. If you're a brother, a sister, to wake up, right at the last trump or whatever. But me, I want to know early. I want to know, okay, martial law is about to be here early. So what happened? I ain't going to be surprised. I'm like, okay, yeah, this was prophesied about. I want to be scrambling and shit last second. Spiritually scrambling last second, man. Trying to buy time and shit. So that's one thing. Another thing, to thank the Lord that you know the truth while society was intact, man. That you in the faith, man. All the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, yeah, these elitists, even they're gonna be the ones so-called setting off Jacob's trouble, in the physical. And they're gonna be like, oh shit, we ain't know it's gonna be like this. You know what I mean? While they're in their bunkers and shit watching, because they're gonna be entertained. This is gonna be their last entertainment, because there ain't gonna be no NFL in this time. Ain't gonna be no NBA in this time. So what's gonna be their entertainment? Watching you niggas and you spics and you bow and arrows, fight for your lives. And plus, we gonna have the power too. So that's gonna be their entertainment. That's gonna be their chief entertainment. But they're gonna watch a lot of you niggas die though at the same damn time. And strong men shall bow themselves. Yeah, these military men. These power lifters, bodybuilders. These calisthenic sellouts. All these guys are gonna be like, oh shit. And no more engagement, no more what they call that shit. No more content. No more content creation, man. Because this devil's gonna come down with great wrath because he knows that he had with us on this guy Trump, man. That's why like one thing I know is these women, even though they got their demons on them, they a lot more. Since Trump been in there, they've been a lot more easier to approach, a lot more easier, to get their number and shit. I can't remember the last time a woman told me no, if I asked her for a number or whatever. I can't remember. And the grinders cease because they are few. Yeah, man. There's few grinding left. All right. Especially real jobs. Not no, like I said, not no fucking. You could forget about the data entry jobs, the customer service. Those jobs are long gone. They replaced by AI, man. I'm sure now you still got some old nigga woman, like, boomers, Gen X, older Gen X boomers, in their late 50s and 60s. They done retired from their, customer service job they had for like 30 years. Them days are long gone, man. Long the fuck gone. And the grinders cease because there are few, and those that look out of the windows, hey, that's the spirit. Because that's what this whole article I mentioned, man, the worker fatigue. That's probably what our title is. Gen X and Millennial. The Gen Z. I don't know why I keep saying X. I guess the Z kind of looks like an X. Gen Z and Millennial worker fatigue, man. All right. But she's long past her glory days, this woman in this clip. Yeah, she might have looked okay 30 years ago, 1995, when she was a younger woman in her early 30s. But now she trying to hold on at this point, man. Hella makeup on, hella facelifts, things that the, Edomite and Israelite foreigner woman be doing, man. Tanning salons and shit. Just try to look young. Because really, they don't want that old 70-something-year-old man in this society. They want a younger man to make them feel young again, to spice their life up. And a certain woman, they want to be bossy. So they feel like, okay, I'm older, I'm above you. That's how these older women really think these cougars. This is a classic example of even though she might be married, this is a classic example of a cougar, And that's one thing that's confusion too. I know I'm getting off topic. It's one thing that's confusing. You got all these old ass women dyeing their hair to look young. Like, what happened to the days? I don't see too many brothers talk about this too. You got these women way older than me, but she got less grays in her hair than I do. The fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? You got majority of these old ass women be dyeing their hair to look young. They got your hair looks young, but your face looks old and shit. What kind of shit is that? Kind of oxymoron is that, man? These old ass woman, man, she every bit of like 55 and up. 50 and up. She ain't got a lick of gray in her hair, man. This is Babylon. And then you see a young 21-year-old, she dyeing her hair platinum silver. You know what I'm saying? She's dyeing her hair gray. But an old ass auntie, grandma, she's dyeing her hair to look young. And the younger women are dyeing their hair to look older. This is Babylon. It's confusion, man. All right. So, worker fatigue, man. In a nutshell, man. This is those that look out the window be dark. Hey, that's going into your worker fatigue, man. They're like, man, I'm just working for today. I ain't working to build no future. Ain't no. They even said the average American don't even have a savings, man. They ain't got $500 in their savings. This is all done by design to integrate you. When they fully collapse the society into the B system now, because right now they about to really segue into the B system, whether it's through false flag event, whether it's through economic collapse, whether it's through a pestilence, whether it's through a famine. They really, they're going to force you into the beast. They're going to take everything from you, your little smart devices, your little smart TV, your smart vehicle. That's basically what your vehicle is. You know, especially you got a GPS and all that shit. It's just a smart vehicle. It's gonna take away. What else it gonna take away, man? It's gonna take away your kids, your significant other, your businesses. No matter if you're a small business or large business, they're gonna take away all that shit real soon, man. In the coming days. So that's why, like, it behooves you to call upon the Lord, man. Give him more, so you can get more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, man. But this society's backwards. You just want more money, and that's it. You earn money and then you die. That's the way of the so-called white man. You get up, you go to work, and you die. You pay taxes. You get up, go to work, pay taxes, and you die. Those are three things you guaranteed in life. Hey, all that shit's going out the window real soon. I mean, it's only a matter of days before they just say, you know what, the hell with the dollar, the hell with this current way of living, man. The new norm. It's gonna be a new norm, all right? So, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. Yeah, we saw a glimpse of that in 2020. So here it is. We're almost, which I hate to say, at 2026. We'll see what the Lord does, man. When the sound of the grinding is low, which is hard to get a real job now, like a real job that'll pay you, and it was hard before AI. Like, I'm be honest, it was hard before AI. Not as difficult as it is now. So now with AI, it's super hard to get it. You even got it. Salaki for stumbling on my words. It's that brain fog. You even got goddamn AI replacing certain lawyer jobs, man. Like those little bookkeeping lawyer jobs where you gotta read 1,000 pages of a document, look for any errors. AI is placing that. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird going into the alarm clock, and the daughters of music shall be brought low. And that's the spirit, because it said daughters of music, man. Because, like, really the top songs you hear on the radio, they woman rappers, man. Like, the woman is really taking over the rap game, even though niggas still be rapping. But if you cut on the radio, or if you in a strip club, all you gonna hear is woman rapping. Women rapping. The Lottos, the Cardis, the bitches that pretty much Nicki Minaj birth, the Glorillaz, them strip clubs, they worse because they way raunchier. Like, they talking about getting their box ate, selling the box, so forth, man. Working, jumping on from ride to ride. It's the stuff. Like, they way worse than Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj had her shit, but these bitches, they just all out with it. Like, no shame, man. No shame in that game. All right. Cause why? Cause ain't no work, so bitch gotta get it anyway. So she's selling I know a person this Gen Z broad. She like she's probably considered an older Gen Z broad. Cause I think she about 27, 28. And like I was like, yeah, I've known her for a while. I see her time to time at the gym. She knows she an Israelite. She knows about eating better, health. She actually look good. She a Eve. She a little ratchet. Slightly tatted up, weave wearing Eve, but she actually look good. Like, I actually, opportunity present itself. I ain't gonna chase it since I see her all the time. Or not all the time, but from time to time, see her a few times a month. If like the opportunity presents itself and the stars align, yeah, I would pop her, but she got a nice frame, nice feet, nice frame, in shape. I'll be doing her cardio, her ab work and shit, core work. But I remember probably like a few months ago, early in the summertime, late spring, probably like May, June. I was like, yeah, what you be doing for work? She was like, yeah, I'll be working these niggas. So, that's common for Gen Z. Or if you're a younger millennial, that's a common thing for the bras to be selling box. You even got 40-year-old women selling box out here. But real soon, something's gonna happen where the price of box is gonna collapse to the price of a Subway sandwich, man. You know, like ain't gonna be no more. Oh, you gotta take me on a trip or these dates. All that shit's gonna go out the window. Like if a bra's gonna rock with you, she's gonna rock with you. Especially if you're a man of the Lord. If you're a man, you how about Shimmy outside with that spiritual power and see, hey, in that day it ain't gonna be nothing for you to get. Woman just gonna approach you, which spirit been having it. Woman's been. I think it was like 2, 3 times recently. A woman just asked for my number type shit. Or they just threw it at us. Made it super easy, super convenient to get the number. You know what I'm saying? But I know it was one or two for sure where a woman just, was like, yeah, give him my number type shit. But why? Because that's the season we in. We in the season of Isaiah 4:1. Yeah, because when these women lose their jobs, because really that's the main thing that's keeping a woman from a man in this society is these jobs and careers and shit like that. So once Esau takes them away, which ultimately is the Lord taking them away, then they ain't gonna have no choice but to find a man. You know what I'm saying? A man of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. So women are gonna come by the boatload real soon, the busload, whatever you want to call it, man. Okay. Which is a beautiful thing because that's how it's supposed to be, right? Especially you're a real man. You're a man of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Yeah, like even now, like I'm seeing the spirit change with these women. Like these women, now pop up. When I pop out on him, man, he's like all nation women, not just a nigga woman. Which really, I'll try to like avoid the nigga woman, like man. Unless she has like the Edomite, unless her mother or unless her mother's Edomite woman or Israelite foreign woman. Those be the best ones to deal with. I'm gonna just keep it about because she was raised by the nigga woman. She gonna act like the nigga woman. Yes, because the scripture says the daughter is as her mother, man. So is the daughter, so is the mother. So you just gotta move wisely, man. But that's gonna be an end game of this economic collapse. A lot of you women, man, you're gonna be running to these 2/3 niggas and they just gonna smoke you, man. Just cause these 2/3 niggas about to lose everything too. Gonna lose everything right along with you, man. So you gonna run to these dread niggas, these dread demons, and they gonna smoke you, man. You gonna have a clip waiting for you. A lot of you nigga women, you gonna try to run back to your baby fathers, your ex-husbands, and they gonna smoke your ass. They might let you win. They might pop you one last time and then just off you right after. Like, you know what, bitch. Hey, scripture says we gonna laugh at your calamity, man, because you laughed at us, you laughed at the Lord, you scoffed at the Lord, you scoffed at us. So that's what's coming, man. All right. You get second Ezra 6:22, man. You know, you ain't got the apocrypha on this. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. That's what's happening now, man. You got this AI revolution, this fourth industrial revolution and shit. Market of beast system, AI, robo system. Suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. Yeah, these are one song places, man. These jobs. I remember the time you could get fired or quit a job, and another one will be ready to hire you. Like, and the new job it's destined to pay more than the old job. Destined to give you more hours and so forth. And the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So the full storehouses are going to be empty. I mean, it's really they're half empty now. They half empty now. But real soon it's about to be fully empty. Okay. So, I pray this happens this fall. I pray there's a October surprise. I pray it's an October demise. It's just a thing, hey, we just waiting on the Lord, man. The scripture says, wait ye upon the Lord. So that's all we can do is wait upon the Lord. We can't. Hey, the Most High, Supreme Yahweh, He has a set day for America's destruction. He has a set day for the collapse of the society. He has a set day, where most of the brothers getting spiritual power. He has a set day, man. And so that's all we can do is just wait on the Lord, man. He has a set day of our deliverance, a set day, for all this good stuff, man, I'm talking about, man. All right. So, hey, that's why scriptures say that even the harlots, are going to get redeemed before these wicked Israelite niggas, man. Bitch with face tats, tongue rings and shit like that. They'll make it before you wicked ass niggas. Not a bitch, Salaki, because she'll be a beautiful sister in that day. We gonna have to, clean a lot of you harlots up, man. With the power, man. You're gonna have to remove them tats, them fucking exotic piercings you got, and all that shit, man. Them spirits that's on you, them different men's sperms that's in you, and so forth, man. All right. Second Ezra 6:22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and hey, this society, especially the job market, was once a sown place. Now it's unraveling, quickly, especially since Trump got in there. You're fired. He's turning back to 2000s Trump, man. You're fired. You're fired. He's even firing his own. He's firing not only just a nigga woman that's, been living in these plush, cushy corporate jobs, but even his own, man, these own Edomites, man, are getting fired. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Yeah, man. And like I said, right now the storehouses are half empty, but real soon this prophecy is gonna fully take place, man. That's why, like, all right, let's be real. Like, how many times you went to the grocery store and it's a, maybe an item or juice or, whatever you like to eat or drink or indulge in, whatever. Let's be real. This happens at least once a week to, I'm pretty sure, most brothers. How many times you grab the last item on the fucking rack that you was looking for? You can't tell me, no brother in this faith can't tell me this ain't happened to them within the past month. At least one time, man. All right, so there's it's it's a slow and controlled famine right now, but real soon it's gonna get out of whack, and that's when these people gonna lose it, because even more than money, these people love food more than money. Even though the love of money is the root, hey man, these people love food, man. All the parasites in them, they're gonna really crash out. But ain't no food on the shelves, man. Verse 23, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid, man. We sounding the trumpet right now, man. So you people about to be scared shitless, man. right? Why? Because this calamity is gonna happen. You're gonna be like, oh shit, this is just like the movies. Nah, fuck that. It's worse than the movies. You know, which, like I said, from our apostles and elders on down, we've been warning for years. Like me, I can count 10 years I've been teaching, and then probably about a few more years on top of that, maybe 15 years total. I knew I was an Israelite, man. And that's a small time, but you know, it's time. Time counts, man. That's how you build muscle. Time under tension, and you know, eating a surplus of calories, good diet, getting your minerals, your vitamins, and so forth. That's how you build muscle. Time under tension. And hey, our apostles, we apostles. They've been under this tension of Babylon for decades, man. At that time, shall friends fight one against another like enemies. Yeah, because yeah, you know, work. That's all these people know is structure. That's why I like a guy, or let's say the typical Jake. You know, he'd be a good boy. He go to school. But guess what? When he graduates, he become a bad boy. Or he's hanging with criminals because he loses that structure, man. You know? And that's the same thing that's going to happen with the masses of the society. You're going to lose the structure of not having a job, not having a business that you're spending 12 hours a day working on, not having, set meals. You could just go to Chick-fil-A and go to Aldi's and, wherever you like to eat, man. You're going to lose that stability. The scriptures tell us, I'm going to probably end off with that. Isaiah 33, man. And it says, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein, and the springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Yeah, so you ain't gonna be able to get this word, man. You know? You ain't gonna be able to get this word. All right? Because all hell and chaos, family of the word. Real soon they about to declare this truth as, legally hate speech. Right now they just, throwing little jabs out there, but real soon they gonna, go for the shot, man. The kill shot, the kill switch on, free speech, on the First Amendment, man. All right, and they're gonna blame us, man. Which is a good thing, cause that'll put us in the phase 2 hunting season, man. But that's why the Lord's keeping us youthful. You look at the apostles, they're youthful. They got the energy. They're going on miles. They're going on longer walks than me. They decades older than me. And they're going on longer walks than me. I'm more of a calisthenics gym type of guy, hybrid. That's my thing. All right, I can lift with the best of them, and I can go rep for rep when it comes to the push-ups and pull-ups. All right, with the best of them. But the Lord's keeping me youthful though. When I tell people my age, they'll assume that I'm like 10 years younger. Or they that's them trying to butter me up, but they know I have a younger spirit, man. Younger energy. I'm high energy. You know what I'm saying? Even though I may come off as reserved, but even the Chat GPT demon they said I might be quiet, but my spirit is loud. I have a loud spirit, man. And it says at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear. Yeah, man. So even, you know, it says friends fight against another like enemies, right? Even your friends in the world, man, they're gonna turn on you, man. I recently had one turn on me, you know. I ain't tell nobody about it, but like he turned on me, you know. So hey, everything he said to me, yeah, how about Shem Yahshua is gonna send back to him, man. All right. And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. And the springs of the fountain shall stand still, and through y'all shall not run. So you ain't gonna be able to get these living waters, these holy waters, this truth, man. All right. This flowing waters, man. All right. So, you know, like I said, the family of the word is closer than we can imagine, man. You know, I won't be surprised if it happens, you know, like in the coming months. You know, because they gotta, you know, they gotta really enforce this new world order, man. Especially here in America, you know, they're using China as a testing ground with this digital system, China, Japan, and so forth. This digital tracking system, because China, I believe, cash is pretty much banned for the most part. You know what I'm saying, in China, you know. But America is gonna be the first ones that are like, okay, look, you gotta take this chip. You know, America's gonna lead the world in that. You're gonna see your favorite athletes, your LeBrons, your D Wades, your podcast niggas, and so forth, man. They about to take this chip and really promote this shit, man. Just like they did with the Yab, man. You know, which that Yab killed a lot of people, man. Like how many millions of people died worldwide because of the Yab. That's how much. That's how much the population growth was. They had to introduce the Yab to like slow this shit down, man. You know what I mean? People like prior to 2020 was you know fucking like crazy, having babies amongst babies. But now you know they finally like, especially in these Western countries, they finally controlled it, man. You know, controlled the birth rate. Of course, you know there's certain countries in Africa and Asia, India, and shit, Pakistan, where they having babies like crazy. But you know, in a civilized world, man, you know, there ain't too many uh, baby production happening, man. All right, like this, did a video a few weeks ago about this Gen Alpha, man. They like half the size of Gen Z. They half the size of Millennials. You know what I'm saying? And it says, second Ezra 6:25, whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world. So that's what we waiting on, man, is rulership, man. Being able to live in a society, you know, where we could finally be comfortable in, man. You know, because, you know, brothers, you doing delivery, you see these Edomites living comfortably, man, all right? Manicured lawns and shit. You know, long ass driveways, fucking water views, waterfront views and shit. Them devils living comfortably. You know, you do these apps and you do these different jobs where you gotta use your car and shit. Them devils living comfortably, man. The Lord's about to take it away. Scripture says in night security that shall be destroyed, man. So, you know, it's probably one of my longest videos ever. That's how riled up in the spirit I'm in, man. You know. But, you know, hey, all good things, you know, like they say, all good things come to an end. So in this video, say it's about to wrap it up, man. You know, but hey, Esau, your society is at its end. So I'm ended there till next time. Shalom.